Hi, darlings. Hi, you all. How you all doing? You welcome to True Talk Show. Well, sorry, I don't know what's going on, but we started few minutes behind time, but it's fine. Whichever ways we're here already. Sorry about the bit of the mini delay or so. Yeah. So just gonna do this right away. I'll do this. Okay. So I can do the invitation. I don't know why. Probably restricted. Big Rishi, what's up, Rishi? Said, what's up? Okay, I'll send you this one. Oh no. Chief Wisdom. Welcome you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So our guest is going to join us shortly. Mm. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Okay, then I could go here to share. Share. We perfect. Perfect. Why is it holding send and stop wasting my time? Okay, fine. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Chen. So we'll start shortly. Welcome on board, welcome on board, welcome on board, wherever you're streaming from. You're welcome. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your patience. I don't know. Oh, finally.
Hmm.
Good day, Honourable. Finally.
Mm-hmm.
All
I don't know
right.
why he's
is
Welcome. Hope
proving
it wasn't
difficult.
stressful. I
Mm.
really didn't understand what's like this as well. But you're
Thank you.
welcome on board. Good to have you.
Thank
Finally,
you.
we are here.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. So, how is it going today? And how was it? Hope it wasn't so stressful.
No, it's okay. It's fine.
Okay. Honorable, tell us a little about you. When we hear Honorable Ugumba Uche Nwosu, what should we expect? Like, what should get on our mind? Could you please tell us about yourself?
Okay, my name is Uche Nwosu. I'm from Imo State. I'm a Nigerian. Uh, I worked with the government, former commissioner for land, former chief of staff, and I ran for the governor of Imo State 2019.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, sir. How would you say? Okay, how would you describe your foundation that is ongoing now? And there's been a lot of things I've been following right from when the foundation was open. I've been reading lots of articles and seeing. And would you please tell us a bit about your foundation?
My foundation is Ugumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. Setting up that foundation was born out of my heart or what I went through in life as a young boy. Wasn't born in a family that has it all. I was born in a not so a poor family, and growing up, I saw the other side of life. I saw what it takes to move around the streets. When I tell young people that I hawked oranges and plantain and ice water then, not pure water, ice water then in the street of Aba, uh, from Omungasi to Ezuku to Ariaria to Mohil. Yeah, all I do is just to look for ends mean. Just coming back from school, my mom will set the tray with the ice water. If it is the time of corn, boiled corn, if it is time of orange. So while going through all these in life, I decided that after God has blessed me, that I know actually what the young people feel. You can imagine a young boy selling orange or selling pure water in the street of Lagos or Kaduna or Sokoto or Port Harcourt or even in Oyo. So you can imagine what that guy go through, because I can imagine the number of streets I've walked at trekking for like 5 kilometers just to sell a product that is not more than 5,000 or 3,000. So growing up and then having God bless me, I made up my mind that I have to contribute my quota to the society. And how do I do this? I believe that the best place to start is to empower the youth and see how I can contribute to youth development in Nigeria and in Africa.
Hmm. Wow. So would you say that's what got you interested in the youth of this dispensation all over Africa?
As, exactly. I got interested in the young people because having gone through that problem in life, having suffered, in fact, at a certain time when I got admission into Imo State University, I had to go back on weekend, like Friday. I would go back and do some of the messing job where I look for where there is construction going on, and then I will help carrying block, lifting block, and giving to the messing man on Fridays and Saturdays. And
Wow.
by Sunday evening, I'm back to school. From carrying block and giving block to the messing man, I learned how to do messing myself. So these are all I went through in life. So having seen this, I decided on my own that how can I contribute to young people in the society? And the best way to contribute is to see how I can uplift as many as I can, especially young people, because these young people are there, especially in Nigeria. They are very intelligent, they are talented, but what they need is a little bit push for them to get to their next level. And beside most of the rich and the bourgeois we have in society now don't care about them. Some of them only care about them during election when they will come and they help them carry ballot boards. But after then, they will be all forgotten. But in my foundation, we have trained and we have empowered more than 5,000 to 10,000 young Nigerians, and some of them are doing very well. So it's something that is born out of me to see how I can contribute in uplifting and helping the young generation in our society.
Wow. So, given the situation happening now in Imo State, what would you say is the best way to go about it, or the situation ongoing in Imo State?
I
Everyone,
believe that in every situation, whether it's not, you can't lay hand to Imo State. It's across the whole world. There is no particular place in this world that does not have issues. But the only way to settle it is coming together and then trying to tackle that situation and tackling that problem. So you go to Afghanistan, there is a problem. You go to the leaders and how we can tackle youth unemployment, because I believe that the major curing a disease without knowing the symptom is a problem in the society. First of all, you have to know the symptom. And when you diagnose somebody and you know the symptom, you now know the kind of drug that you're going to administer to that person. So I believe that the major symptom and the major problem we have in Nigeria is youth unemployment. Once the youth are occupied, they will not have 5 hours on their phone tweeting, abusing our leaders. Once you are busy with your work, you don't have time to start tweeting, abusing all the leaders. So unemployment is the major symptom of Nigerian problem. And once the youth are engaged, then everybody will be happy.
yes, sir. Thank you for that. You've served both as a commissioner and as a chief of staff of Imo State. Has there been a time where you were in disagreement with some situations, some principal situations based on the interests of the youth?
Yes, when I was a commissioner, when I was chief of staff, my major task was to showcase to the young generation that although before now, I was young, I was 30 something when I was commissioner for land, and I was around 40 when I was around 39, a bit 40 when I was the chief of staff. So my major target was to let the older people know that the young generation can fit into position, because Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, Ahmad Bello, Tafawa Balewa, so many of them, even Gerald Gowan, they got to that position when they were young. Even Ojukwu got to those positions when they were at their age of 30, 20 something. So my major target as a commissioner and the chief of staff was to make sure and to be an ambassador, youth ambassador in the government, so that at the end of the day, they won't come and say, you say give us power. The youths are asking for power, but they cannot handle the little one they gave to them. So there was a situation where taking decision in the cabinet and by His Excellency, the man I work with, and tried my best to factor in anything that the youth can benefit. So in that case, you bring out and they are discussing, and you're talking about youth. Always you're talking about youth. You know, sometimes some of these our older generation politicians will not be happy. They will say, this government is all about youth. But for me, I represent the youth, so I'm there to protect their interests.
We can see on the comment section, it seems like you are the people's man. Everyone is saying, welcome, welcome. They are saying they love you. Anyways, that brings us to the next question. Honourable, as a politician and entrepreneur, should I say the word like I wrote before this session came up? I was polytrepreneur or that polytrepreneur. Loading. Okay, like as a polytrepreneur.
Yes.
Yeah, as
a entrepreneur.
Polytrepreneur, yeah. Combining the politician and. Okay, that's my way. So, guys,
Don't mind me. But I think that's the best way to say polypreneur. Yeah. As a polypreneur, how would you approach the short and the long planning process? And what system do you use to set your goals and objectives? People are saying Your Excellency. Have you been appointed
Okay.
that we did?
I've not been appointed. It's only God that is His Excellency. Let me come to that before I come to your answer. I tell people, I tell them that you don't answer Excellency, or you don't even answer me Lord when it's
Okay.
only God that is me Lord. You don't answer Excellency when you know that there are things that you have come short to His glory. It's only God that is Excellency. It's only God that is Honourable. It's only God that is me Lord. So sometimes in this particular side of the world, the issue of excellency takes politicians off their mind. In my United States of America, you don't answer the president of the United States. Answer His Excellency, President Joe Biden. You call him Mr. President. So by the time we remove excellency from our names, remove
Are you
honorable
trying to
from
say
our
I should
appointed,
address you as Mr. Uche
Uche Nwosu, yes,
Nwosu? I
Uche
should call
Nwosu,
you
yes, yes,
Mr.
yes, yes.
Ooh,
Yes,
wow.
yes, yes, yes. Because once that name sometimes
Humble.
attached, you get once that name attached to our names, it gets into some of these politicians, and they start acting excellency, but they are not excellency. There's a friend of mine who was a member of a federal House of Rep, and they asked me a question: would you want to say that you are honorable? He said, no, don't call me a honorable until after I finish my 4 years. Then you now look at all what I have done in 4 years and to know whether I deserve to answer honorable or I don't deserve it. That's upside. Now let me come to your question. You asked me
Wow.
as a politician and as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
For now, I'm a pure entrepreneur and then a philanthropist. That's what I want to concentrate now. I'm setting politics aside. I want to contribute my quota to the society. So politics is there, but I'm focusing on a major two things. One, as an entrepreneur, and then as somebody who is into humanitarian, helping young people. Let me come to your
The
question.
philanthropist.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Let me come to your question. You asked how do I approach a short and longer range planning process, and
Yes,
you said what the
sir.
system. Okay. Let me come this way. That while approaching those processes, and while you're trying to do whether it be long term or short term, first of all, you have to develop what is called some objective on how to achieve it. And once you have your proposal, or you develop your objectives, that will help you achieve those objectives. And once you don't develop it, it becomes difficult for you to achieve it, whether long term or short term. And again, you try to determine the resources that you needed to achieve them. There should be resources, not only achieving, but there are resources that you needed to achieve them, and that has to come into play. And the third one is that determine how to attract and track and assess your progress, the progress you have made when you are beginning. Because sometimes you start and you don't assess the progress you have made. So you have to try to assess your progress in achieving your set goal or getting to your destination. I think that enough can also help you to determine whether you have done well or you have not done well. And also you create a timeline. If you set up a goal, you say, look, as an administrator, as a manager, I want to complete a school, or I want to do 100 kilometers of road, and you say within 3 months I want to do this. That time you have set, please don't deviate from it. Don't allow people to come and tell you, no, 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 let's do it gradually, or let's carry all four things together. You have to set up time for every goal you have set up.
Interesting. So that means within this 3 months, right, for it to be a success, how do you how do you monitor the progress? Like, how will I expatiate on it? Like, you assign some officials, some people to do that for you to ensure it's in place, or you go sometimes to inspect the place to be sure they gave you exactly what you
Um,
requested for
um,
to execute
uh,
for it to be a success.
in every organization, whether it be government or be a smaller organization, if you're a leader, you will have to lead right and you have to be in forefront. You cannot be a leader that stay at the back and allow your people to go. Once you go, they follow you. And the best thing you can do is to develop a monitoring and evaluation strategy. And this comes in a process of maybe having some of your staffs or some of your appointees who will help you to do this. Sometimes you also give them opportunity to see what they can do, but even giving them an opportunity to monitor and then evaluate and come back to you. You also follow them. I have a friend of mine who said that I had that his company, if he sends somebody to go and buy orange, he send another person to follow him to make sure that he buys the good orange. He sent another person that will make sure that they come back in time. He sent another person that will make sure that once they bring that orange, that is fast, is fast peeled so that the person can have his juice. So in some of these things, one, you have to develop a monitoring and evaluation strategy based on how you want your company or your organization or even your government to run. And once you do that, you find out that it's an easy task so that at the end of the day, your set goals and objectives will be achieved.
Wow, interesting. There's a question here on the comment section, but I won't want to take any question, not until this, but I'll take just this. Then we go back to the questions that has been laid down for today's session. Well, someone is asking, have you given up on your political ambition, considering the fact you spoke about wanting concentrating on being an entrepreneur and philanthropist? That was what brought this question up.
No, I have not given
Interesting.
up on my political ambition.
I thought you just
Uh,
introduced.
I have not given up on my political ambition. Politics is a second. You know, one thing that is the problem in this country is that people have forgotten to understand that politics is your second address. My first address, and I call it address A, is my what I do to earn living. And what do I do? What is my occupation? I'm a town planner. What else after town planning? I'm into real estate. What else after that is what I do. But politics is address B. My second certificate is politics. My number one certificate is what I do in life. So I will not join the two. And whenever I'm asked anywhere, what is your occupation? I don't tell them I'm a politician. I tell them I'm an entrepreneur. And that's my first address. So politics is not an occupation. So I'm a politician. I've not given up on my politics, but I don't use it. I don't bring it first. I don't carry it looking as if I don't have any job apart from politics.
Hmm. Wow, interesting. That seemed interesting, really. Wow, everyone is saying wow, 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 wow. I don't want to look at comment section. I don't want to be distracted today.
Please don't,
Okay,
don't. Let's go
I'm not going
ahead.
to look at comment section for now. Sorry, guys. So, could you tell us a bit of the community development and this aspect of youth development? You've really talked and spoke about it. Like, what's your long-term goal for the youth in the next 5 to 10 years? You're so
Uh,
interested in the
yes,
youth, and we've seen a lot going on with the Uche Nwosu Foundation.
yes. I think as the president of the Goomba Center for Leadership Development, one of my set goal is to see in the nearest future that our youth are employed. I want to see a society where the young people will have something that they can do in life and money to take care of themselves. I do not want to live in a society where the youths will come out and be praising politicians and be shouting, you are the person, you are this, you are that, and keep praising the person without them having something to eat. In my leadership center, which was from out of my heart to help the young people, I want to see a society where the young people will have something doing, where the young people will not concentrate more on their social media and abusing leaders, where they will concentrate on their job. I want to see a society where unemployment will come down to its minimum level than having a society where the rate of unemployment is high. When there is a high unemployment, you can't you can't rule out Boko Haram, you can't rule out kidnapping, you can't rule out armed robbery, you can't rule out prostitution, you can't rule out so many things. But once they are fully engaged, whether it be on their own as a personal, don't worry, that's a Nigeria for they just took light. Once you have
Wow.
a personal,
Wow.
but they're going to put it on again. So, but once you have a country where the youth are fully engaged, you'll find out that it will be difficult to have some of these problems that we're having in this country now, especially the issue of banditry, the issue of kidnapping, robbery, prostitution, and so many of them. The main target is to see a society where our people can be proud to say this is their country and they are happy with it. So that's the target. And that is what we are looking forward in our Ugumba Center for Leadership Development in the future.
Okay. Thank you, sir. What would you consider that has been your strength that has helped you through your achievements so far?
My strength is the young people, and my strength is God. God. When I was growing up, I said something that, Father, as far as you will bless me, I will make sure that I bless as many as I can. I wake up every morning and I come back to my house. What I think of myself is how can I make an impact in somebody's life? Sometimes when I go out, if I don't touch somebody's life, I come back, I don't feel happy. So it is something that I want to continue with. It makes me happy. The helping young people and seeing somebody happy and empowering a young man or a young woman on the street and seeing him do well in their business, seeing them gain employment, seeing them not begging for money, taking care of themselves, paying for their house rent, driving their own car, having their own clothes without begging from their parents. It makes me happy. And this is what gives me joy in life.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to the next question. What would you say has been your biggest success so far? Could you please tell us about it?
My biggest success so far is my leadership center. Apart from the material things in life, yes, God has given me a very good wife with my children, and God has blessed me. I have a place I live and I have something I'm doing. But my biggest happiness and success so far was establishing the Ugumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. This has helped to it has helped me in knowing more about young Nigerians, and it has helped in training thousands of Nigerians and lifting them from their where they are to a better level where they are now. So the Leadership Center is the success that I can say that I've achieved.
Okay, and then could you please also tell us? Wow, light is back. Wow, wow,
Thank God.
wow,
Thank God.
wow. Wow, someone
But we
said
are going
you've
to be
been his
better.
role model. You've been his role model. Guy, from the
Thank
time
you.
he was in his senior secondary school that you changed his life after visiting the governmental blah blah blah. And so, oh no, I don't want to look at comments. God, I've not gone far with this. Anyway, someone said, please, sir, I just have one word to say. Please get gubernatorial tickets for governorship. Okay, the push is there. I'll come back to that though. That brings us to the that brings us to this question next. Sir, what would you do? Would you be ready to go for a governorship position next if you've been elected or you're given the position, the opportunity?
You asked whether would I want to run for governor of Imo State?
Yes, because everyone is asking this question
Everyone
here,
is
and
asking. I want to
and they
tell
are asking
everybody that is
you to
asking.
please get tickets.
I'm asking. Okay, let me also tell all of them that I've had. I've read some here. Some of them that have been. I saw one. He said, "Please get the only thing you can do is to get the
Yeah, I pinned
ticket
it
and
so
then
you will
run."
see.
I just want to tell them to calm down and then you seek the face of God first. So they should know that in everything you put God first. So whether you get the ticket, you don't get it, what's the plan of God for you? So I wouldn't want to go into that angle now. I'll come back to it.
Are you only interested in youths from your community or your session? I think you answered it again. Could you please answer it again? Maybe these people can hear. I think you said
Okay,
something related to that.
I'm not interested in people from my state or my local government. Ugumba Center for Leadership Development, we have empowered youth across the country. Let me surprise them that many that have won are not from Igbo. In fact, one of the young lady that won the 2020 Ugumba Enterprise Challenge is Bilekisu from Kaduna. This young lady, she's an architect, but due to she doesn't have what she was doing at that present time, she came for our enterprise challenge and she won 1 million naira. And with that 1 million naira, Blikisu was able to develop for herself a little business. Right now, as I talk to you, Bliki supplies her material to United States through our partners there. We have another young guy from the Southwest who also benefited from it. We have another one from South who benefited from it. So we have coordinators in all the 36 states of the Federation. So we have empowered more outside even my state than compared to what we have. So it is not all about religion. It's not about where I come from. Some of them I don't even know them. It's only when they say, this person won, I'll now call, where are you from? I'm from Kano, I'm from Kaduna, I'm from Imo State. We have who is from Imo State, who won also. And Ruth is one of the shining stars from Ugumba Leadership Center. Utede, after our challenge, she won her prize, and Utede, through our partners, was invited to one of the countries in Europe, and she went for a competition, and Utede came second, and the person that came first was a professor from one of the country in Asia. So you can imagine Utede, a student, after going through our training, after winning her prize, after going through the enterprise challenge, was able to travel and compete with the best brand outside this country and came second. So we do not put religion, tribe, where you come from in our leadership center. Ours is to help humanity no matter where you come from.
Wow. Did you guys hear that? Those people on the comment section. Oh, people will allow me concentrate this time around. Okay, good. You guys should take a pause. And that brings us to the next question. You said I should address you as Mr. Huh? Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Uche Nwosu, could you please tell us what has been your biggest weakness, or would you say that's which you regretted ever since you started your process, your career?
One of the greatest things that I regretted not getting, but I know is the will of God. In everything, they say you should give thanks. The Bible said in everything you should give thanks and praises unto God. He is the beginning, He is the end. He knows it from the beginning, from the end. and he knows the end from beginning. So, and there is nothing hidden under this world that he does not know. So for me, I do not see anything that happens to my life as a regret. But one of the greatest things um, that happened was the 2019 general election, where I almost believed that I won, but at the end of the day, I wasn't declared the winner, and I was another person was declared winner. But apart from that, I think I give God the glory and I give God the thanks for who I am. And there are people that would have gone through that election process and they will not see the light of the day. They wouldn't even be alive to even be declared or be. But for God to have spared my life and going through that process and being who I am today, I am happy. But that's a little regret. I don't have much regret on that.
Okay. So comment session last, I'm taking for now. Then after this session, I could take other questions. So, someone said the person didn't know you too well ever since the 20. Since then, the person had a wrong perception about you. But hearing you speak today, the person said, according to the comment section, the person said, "Wow, the person is or she is really impressed and would want to see you do more." Okay, so concerning this that happened on this day, and I think it was in 2021, if I remember vividly, where on the 30th of December, where were you taken to, and why is it that, because this is your field, were you robbed when they arrested you? Were you take you to, this is a question from the comment section again.
There are things that when it happened, you only thank God that you're alive. The shooting at the church premises, I wouldn't want to come back to that because, like the Bible said, forgive and then allow God to take control. I've forgiven everything that happened on that day. I was not robbed, but I've asked God to forgive also those police people and those who did that, but I've forgiven all of them. I wouldn't want to come back because whenever I come back to that, it reminds me is a trauma that you wouldn't want to come back to it. Just like you sitting in church and then gunshot, and then you were picked up and you were taken away, and then your clothes torn, you were put on handcuff. Those are the things that is a trauma. And whenever I see policemen that are hooded, I get scared that they're coming again for me. So there are things you go in life and it will never go up from your distance. And then again, your kids growing up and going to the internet and see you on handcuff and they ask Daddy, we googled and saw you, what happened? So those are things that when you remember it, you don't want to come back to that this thing again. So I wouldn't want to go there. I don't want to come back to what happened, but I just say that I
I'm
want to thank God
sorry,
that
I
I'm
have
alive.
to ask that question. I don't mean any
Mm.
offense.
No, don't worry. No, it's not a problem. But I'm happy that I'm alive, and I thank God that I'm alive. That's all.
Okay. Um, People are saying they're more grace to you. They're sorry about that, and that brings us to the next question. What would you say you learned from this all happening, coming from the election, which your position was taken from you forcefully, and this whole drama with the police, Nigerian police? What do you learn from that?
In everything, you should give thanks and praises unto God. What I learned is that God first.
Okay.
Without God, with God, all things are possible. And to everybody that is listening and to those who are live with us, pray in whatever you do. Seek the face of God and put God first, because whether from the beginning of the election in 2019 to the end of the election, to the aftermath of the election. The first thing first is that God has kept you alive. So what I learned and what I can tell them is that it has opened my eyes to see the other side of life. That life is not just like you enter a vehicle and you start driving without meeting potholes, without being stopped, or without your tire being punctured, without your wiper not working. That in life you must be ready and much ready for some unforeseen circumstances. But in all that, you have to also put God first, because once God is by your side, there is nothing anybody can do.
Thank you. What do you believe to be the challenges and opportunities that are facing our youths, and how are these likely to change in the future? Sir?
Please come again. I didn't hear you.
Should I come again with a question?
Yes, please.
What would you believe? What do you believe the challenges that the African youths are faced with?
I can't hear. Come again. Repeat that question again, please.
I was like, what do you think is the challenges facing the African youths, and what do you think could, like, how do you think these things could change in the future?
Yeah, the major challenge that is facing African youth today, like I said earlier on, is unemployment. Unemployment is if you put it at the scale of a scale and then a scale of preference, and you ask how do you intend to solve the problem facing African youth, and then you come to number one. The first one you should pick and handle is unemployment. And what do I mean by unemployment? What I mean by unemployment is when you sit at home without finding something to do to earn living. Unemployment can lead to having a wrong role model. Unemployment can lead to having a wrong mentor. I have seen where, because a young boy is not employed and he sees somebody who has money and never know how that person made his money, and fall into having that person as his mentor, and at the end of the day it becomes that person is an armed robber. I have seen where a young girl sees a young lady who has a lot of money, a lot of shoes, gold, and fall into that, having that person as her role model, and at the end of the day it becomes that lady does not have a legitimate means of money. So once unemployment is in Africa, then we are now talking about solving 99% of youth problem in Africa. For us to achieve this, our leaders, whether it's on a public or private organization, but at this point in time, it has to do with the public organization, like governmental organization, for them to wake up. In fact, the 2023 general election has shown that the youths of Nigeria are very angry. And not only in Nigeria, in Africa. You have seen the anger in them. Why this anger? Because 80 to 90% of them are seated at home without nothing doing. And when they say an idle hand is a devil's workshop, like my mom will always tell us. So if somebody is sitting at home without having anything doing, what else do you want that person to do? The hate, the anger, the abuses will come back to our political class from 2023 election. For those of them who are going into government offices now, who won, is now done on them that is not business as usual. One, the first problem they must tackle is youth unemployment. Once the young ones are employed, then we can now talk about a country where me and you, as a political class, as the leaders, can walk freely on the street. Because one day, we should not pray that one day these kids will see those political class and those leaders on the street and start stoning them. So, 2023 general election is an eye-opener to everybody who is in government office, who is in a public office, to do the right thing and get these young people employed.
Okay. So, what would you do during the first 6 months if you were to be elected as an official in Nigeria or in the United Nations or somewhere based
The
on your
first,
impact society? What would you do?
the first thing I would do is to tackle
Change.
the first thing I would do if I'm given if I find myself in any position is to put the problems of that organization or that country or that state in a scale of what is the major thing that the organization confronting the country or confronting the states, and from there I can take my stand on where to start. And let me tell you, the number one, as far as this country is concerned, and as far as Africa is concerned, and as far as the entire world is concerned, is youth unemployment. From Somalia to US, to London, to United Kingdom, to Poland, to Nigeria, to Ghana, to China, to Bangladesh, the major problem that is facing every country is youth unemployment. And for me, if I find myself in any position, the first thing I should tackle, if it is a public office, is youth unemployment. And then even if I find myself in a private organization, the first thing I should tackle is to make sure that in that organization, the young people are given more priority than the older ones. Because somebody who is at the age of 60 or somebody who is the age of 65, what are you still looking for a job for? Why don't you go and let your children take over? So you see that, but in most places, you see somebody at the age of 80 is still looking for a job. He wants to work. Meanwhile, their grandchildren are still out there not working. So unemployment will be the first thing that will come into my mind once I find myself into any public office.
Yes. But we say, should I go to the end? Okay.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. So, what lesson do you expect to impact on the upcoming, and from your experience from the upcoming politicians, the youths that are inspiring to be a politician and also an entrepreneur?
I think for those ones who wants to join politics, one thing I'm going to tell them is that do not see politics as your first address. Do not look at politics as an employment opportunity. Let politics be your second address. It's not a place where you go and you say, I'm employed because I'm a politician. No. But yeah, you can play politics, but make sure you have something somewhere that also will keep you busy in case if it doesn't work. Because why you see most often time when there is change in government and maybe you are in a position and after losing an election, everything goes down because you don't have a second address. You don't have your first address. You're choosing politics as your first address. And for those of them who want to have their own field into entrepreneur, you set up. You don't start up a business based like you see Emeka is into selling of building material, and you want to go into building material without having knowledge of building material because you see Emeka is making money. Emeka is selling building material, or Yakubu is selling petrol, and Yakubu is making money. So if Yakubu is making money, let me go into businesses as a young entrepreneur. It doesn't work like that. You have to set up your goal. You have to go into the field that you know very well. One, if you know that selling of pure water, you know it very, very well. For Christ's sake, package yourself very well. While we are and my younger brother, and then my mom will set up the orange, and then we'll go to the streets and we'll be shouting orange, sweet orange. I will trek from different parts. But one thing my mom taught me was that when we buy, it's very funny. When we come with this orange, we'll cut it the other way. You know how you cut orange round? And then one morning, one evening, one afternoon, when we came back from school, my mom now asked me, how do people normally cut orange? We now told him that this is how we cut it. He said, no, that's why people don't buy. You come back with orange. Say, cut it, do it this way, so that when you do it this way, when you want to open the orange, put the knife on top of it and then cut it open. Like that, the people will, even though you don't want to lick that orange, by melting the body of the orange and the way the orange is being opened, you want to have that orange. And then she said, so if you want to give somebody a corn and maybe you're selling corn, hot corn, how do you sell the corn? We say we just bring it. No, we say when you bring that corn, you open it this way, you raise it up and let the person see the smoke and the this thing that comes out from the corn, and the person will have that appetite. So what am I saying? And we tried it and it worked. So
Wisdom.
what am I saying? What am I saying is that if you know that selling of pure water is your business, do not, because Emeka is selling a building material, is making money, you leave the idea of what you have. The only thing is packaging. Package your pure water very well. And you know that you're a vulcanizer, and you see that Nnamdi is a panel beater. Nnamdi is making money from doing panel beating. No, you can wear your white clothes, you can dress well, you can clean up your places, and people will come there to pump their tires as if you are the only person in town. So for young people who say they want to be entrepreneur, they want to go into businesses, one thing they should know: one, your business is you. Your business is you. If your name is Haruna or your name is Bola, add that to your business. Bola Orange, Uche Nwosu,
You're talking about
Mango. Let it be attached to your name. Don't separate yourself that I'm just doing. You know, some of our young people, they get shy. When you ask them, what do? You say, I'm just managing selling recharge card. I'm just managing selling water. You don't manage anything. Do it very well. Don't be shy. Don't look at anybody. At the end of the day, that person you are shy of telling the person what you do in life will help you. So let be you and be your.
interesting. You talked about packaging and the branding. That's beautiful. Wow. Okay. That brings us to the next. As an okay.
I can't hear you.
Do you mean
Good afternoon.
because we are getting talking more? Oh well. Okay.
I can't hear you. Please, can you come
As
again?
an appointed official of the state,
Yes.
of the state, it was your desire to please your principal and many officials in your position. Would you rather tell your principal what they want to hear on the situation on ground, or would you be diplomatic on the issue, or you use the self-defense in the face of assigned difficult task?
I think one thing that goes for every person in the face of this earth is for you to be yourself and say the truth, nothing but the truth. You might want to please. That's why in governmental offices, there are so many people you see out there. Their job is to do eye service. Let me tell you an example. I have a place, I have a hotel, and any day I come back from that hotel, any day I come to that hotel to do something, there is this young guy. He's in charge of. He's a operational manager. You see him going to the Either he's removing something, immediately he sees me, he will either remove something, or he will try to make sure that the what do you call it, the picture at the wall is set, and he will be doing that. So one day I came back, and there is this burner with charcoal inside. It was very hot, and this young boy went and took it. He saw me. He was trying to see if I'm looking at him to make sure that he's doing very well. He now carried it, and behold, the thing was very hot, and he dropped it. I said, no, continue, be doing your eye service. You want me to know that you are shifting it. So why didn't you shift it all this while that I'm not here? It's just now that you saw me, that you want me to know, to see that you are working. And he was looking at me. I said, don't go and enjoy yourself. Why you want to see? Why you want me to see? Why you want me to see that you are working? That's eye service. In most of the government offices, you have so many of them. Their work is to please their master. Once their master say, come, go this way, they go. But your ability to tell your master, look, sir, you want to do this, but I don't think it's right. Your master will scold you and say, what do you mean? Will you listen? Your master will scold you at that point in time. But let me tell you something. Let me shock you. Your master will go back to his house or to her house, and then will come back that morning respecting you. Than when your boss say, do this, you do that, you do. You don't have anything to contribute. So for me, I wouldn't want to everything my boss will tell me to do, and I will do it. I will tell him that some of these things that you want to do, it is not right. And it helped me when I was in government. I was commissioner for land. I remember when I became commissioner for land, there were unpaid money for the communities where you wanted to go and start development, and the community will say you cannot develop, that you have to pay them grant, you have to pay them their rights. So and maybe you might be there, and then your boss say, no, go and start first, go and start, we'll do that later. You say, no, we cannot start, sir. Let's do it first before we start. At the end of the day, by the time you finish that construction, the community will not come and destroy it. But once you don't do that, they will come and their boss will blame you and say, but you didn't insist. So whether be it in a private organization or be it in a government organization, be truthful to yourself and tell your boss, your superior, the right thing to do. Don't be a nice serviceman like my worker who wanted to impress me and almost burnt his fingers.
Ooh, smoky. Okay, that brings us to the next question. Or as a commissioner, how would you evaluate your... Okay, let's leave that. Let's leave that. I asked that already. You answered something related to that, so let me not go. How do you build a strong relationship? How are you going to build
come again?
How are you going to build a strong relationship with the African youth?
To building a relationship and making having a relationship with African youth is determines on what you have for them. If you don't have anything to offer to Nigerian and African youth, that means you don't have any relationship with them. We have so many. In fact, so one of those persons that I appreciate and I like what he's doing is Tony Elumelu. Today, you cannot talk about entrepreneur in Africa without mentioning somebody like Tony Elumelu, who has done well in that. And then for me, and then for my foundation and my leadership center, is all about impacting in the lives of our youth in Africa and in Nigeria. And to do that, to have that relationship, is to make sure that you support them in any way you know you can, to lift them up from where they are, whether from grass to grace. And then once you do that, you let the secret with young people. Once young people believe in you, once they believe in you, it's difficult to change their mind. But once they don't believe in you, you cannot, no matter what you do, they see you from another level. So, and how do you do that? Is to take their problem and their burden as your own problem. And once a young man sees that you, a young lady sees that his problem is your problem, there is a relationship. And whatever you want to ask of them, they will do it. So For us in our center, Ugumba Center for Leadership Development, we have done well in changing the lives of young people in Nigeria and in Africa, but we still have a lot to do.
Okay. Okay. So, I would like to ask, what are your core values, and which one is the most important to you? So,
Come again. Mm-hmm.
what are your core values, and which one is the most important one to you?
Integrity, respect for human beings,
Okay.
uh, uh, being upright, but the most important thing among all of them is love. You know, my Bible tells me of among the commandments, the greatest of all, love. And if I love my neighbor, I won't think of going to my neighbor's house to take his property. If I love my neighbor,
Oh,
I will
wow.
never think of hurting my neighbor or planning to kill my neighbor. If I love my neighbor or love my friend, I won't think of taking my friend's money. So the greatest of all is love. And when you put love in everything you do, you are sure that there will be peace in the society, and even you yourself will have peace.
Okay. Great. How would you keep the people informed of the priorities, the priorities, the etiquette, and what do you intend to do differently if you are elected as the next governor of Imo State?
If today I find myself in a leadership position, like I told you, the first thing first is to tackle unemployment, and that will be the first thing I will do. Once you put that first, and then other ones. Let me tell you, in governance, you see construction, roads, buildings, and payment of salary. That one is given. Like payment of salary is given that you must pay, whether you like it or not, you pay. Construction of road, yes, you must do it. But the most important thing is to the younger generation, let them have a sense of belonging. And what's that sense of belonging? Let them have something they are doing. Once they have something doing, then you have sorted our generation, the generation after to come. So those are the two you have to put in first in any government. And if I find myself in any leadership position, in whether be governor, be minister, be anything, the first thing first is to tackle unemployment. You might be asking, why do I continue talking about unemployment? Yes, I talk about unemployment because the rate we are going in this country, it will come a time when even me, no matter what I do, you come on the street, these young ones will fight you and say, we don't have job. In fact, give us your car or give us your food, give us your rice in your house, let's eat. So that's why people like us will keep hammering on youth unemployment, how we can sort it out, and how we can handle it. Once we handle it, the society will be good for me and you to live.
Mm-hmm. Could you please tell us something unique about yourself?
This is personal. I'm a very emotional person, and I'm very emotional person. When you to issue of seeing somebody going in through stress or problem, I don't. That sometimes when I read some people, when I go to the social media and I accidentally go through a page and I see somebody either accident or something, and I just flip up, I would not be happy. I will come back to that page. So most of the things I do, like there was this amputee, Mary, who I was going through my social media page, and I saw her with one leg, and she was selling pure water. I don't know whether you heard of it. She was selling pure water. Then I flipped. I just passed that page, and then my mind wasn't at rest. I came back again. I was looking at that picture, and the first thing that came to my mind was one hand carrying the basin, one leg standing up, and then one hand again holding her clutches. And I asked myself, how was she able to do this? And she's carrying the basin, carrying the pure water on her head, holding it with one hand, holding her clutches with one hand, one of the legs. So I couldn't sleep that night. I came back the following morning. I told my wife that it's something I saw on the social media, and I want to see how I can help that girl. And behold, I got back to Mary through friends and well wishers. Mary, who was selling ice water, who was selling pure water in the street of Lagos. After my publicity, I'm making it, giving my own contribution of 1 million naira and letting my friends make their own contribution. Mary became a millionaire. Mary, yeah, she became a millionaire. Yes.
I saw she
And
came
Mary
up
bought a
and
house.
she became
Mary
a
bought a
millionaire.
house. She has her own
I saw
house
she
now in
came up
Lagos.
sometime ago.
So
Like,
that's
wow,
actually
yes.
that's actually what I want to see in human beings. That's what, the impact I want to make in this earth. As in, I want to make sure that people are happy, and that's what touches me. Whenever I see somebody going through difficulties, I don't want to see it. I want to see how I can come to help in that matter. So this is what's
welcome Sunday. Do you have something you want to say to?
Hello.
He said he doesn't like when I call him Honourable.
Okay, just
It's kind
to
of difficult. Okay, sir. Can I say sir
yes,
instead of
yes,
Mr.
yes,
Nwosu?
exactly.
Sir.
I'm so impressed and very
So,
well
do you want to say something?
happy to hear Honorable talking. In fact, this is the kind of leader that we want in our society. Everything he has been saying ever since I've been listening, always correct. You can see the comment that I made, correct, sir.
thank you.
Uh, in every area. So keep up doing well. Keep up the good job. God will continue to be with you, sir.
Thank you.
And we take you to higher position where you can be able to express all the good things that you have in
Thank
mind
you.
for our people. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sir. My name is Adeyemi Aderemi.
Okay.
I'm talking from Lisbon.
Oh, Lisbon.
I'm the European Union representative of Nigerian Diaspora Organization Europe.
Wow. Wow.
So,
Wow. That is great.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Be a
You're
good
welcome, sir.
ambassador. God bless you. God bless you.
Amen,
All
sir.
right.
Thanks, sir.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
yeah.
you, Honourable Adeyemi.
Uh, Thank you, Starly Sisi. This is a very wonderful program. Please keep it up. You are doing well, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honourable.
Okay,
Okay. So brings
okay.
me to the next question. In politics, grassroots mobilization and satisfaction is the basis as successful as an election regime. What do you think should be the priorities of an elected officer from the viewpoint of chief of staff and commissioner?
One thing is that most often time in our continent, whether in Africa, whether be it Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, most politicians see politics as a place to make money, and also they see politics as an avenue to 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 uplift themselves, but actually not knowing why they are into politics. And whether a commissioner, whether a chief of staff, whether a minister, whether a president, whether a house of rep, whether a senator, whether governor, whether local government chairman, the most important thing is why are you there? Are you there for fish raising, or are you there to represent the number of people in the society? And the first thing first you ask yourself is that now that I'm here, tomorrow if I'm not there, how would I be remembered for? Will I be remembered of somebody who came and did nothing for his people, did not give them road, did not give them school, did not give them hospital, and then I leave the office after for 8 years? This is the question you ask yourself. And after that 8 years, how can I walk in the street? And how would people see me? If you ask yourself this question, then you know that you have a very big task ahead. Some people get in there, they think it's a place where to relax, travel to Europe, travel to US with government money, and then forgetting that they have a place at home where they should work. The first thing first is to analyze the problem you have in your society. If you're a local government chairman, you analyze the problems that you have. Do they have water? What can I do to give them water? Do they have electricity? What can I do to give them electricity? You know, sometimes our politicians, you have a place, a community that has water, and then, but they don't have water, and you see them, these politicians coming to build road again. Or government the need of you, that means you have a problem. And everybody, when they're elected, appointed, should be able to be close to his or her people. If you are not, you don't have any spending, the office you're occupying, the fuel you are using is their money, is public money. So if you are not close to the public, it's their money. And write it and keep it in your. Why am I here? What is the next thing I can do to my community? How can I make this prosper? Are the Nigerian youth employed? What if you don't have it, looking at it face to face, you fast. So as an appointee on side, as an appointee, when I was I did that one aside, but let me tell you, I had more impact in when I was chief of staff. When I was chief of staff, I was a chief of staff, and immediately I was appointed chief of staff. The PAMSEC that was in my office came to me and said, "Oga, you are welcome. We want to thank you. We want to thank God that from Ministry of Land, you are now chief of. This is the time, visiting time, from 4 o'clock to this, and then when visitors come, they have to go to the director of protocol, director of protocol, Lilis." I told him, I said, I don't want to do this. You know what? Whenever there are visitors, let me go down and see them. So I will go to the visitors room. I will come down from my office and go to the visitors room and say, yes, what's the problem? Yes, this was the problem. It's some of them will say, Oga, some of them will say, Oga, I don't have money, I don't have this. This woman, what's the problem? My child has not eaten. You, what's the problem? Before you know, their problems and their destiny will be solved, and they will all go. But the problem is that when you get into office, you know this protocol of a thing. You want to enter car. Oh, God, don't enter. You want to sit. Oh, God, this seat is not good. You want to drink water. Oh, God, let me open the water for you. You want to eat food. Oh, God, let me feed you with the spoon. Don't feed yourself. It's a big problem to our politicians. Once every politician learn how to live the life you were living before you get into public office. If you are eating with your own spoon, you know the spoon you used to eat with that spoon. If you are drinking red wine, and you know the red wine is 20,000, please continue with that red wine. Don't go and drink a red wine that is 50,000 or 100,000, because one day you will leave that office and you will not be able to buy that red wine. And then if you know that you move with a convoy before you become governor, maybe two vehicles or 3 vehicles, please don't go above 5. Don't go and have 18 convoy, because one day you will go with just 1 car. So if every public office holder is able to know where he's coming from And where he's going, things will go well for this country and for everybody in Nigeria.
That's impressive. To what extent, thank you for that. To what extent do you believe in connecting? Am I being heard?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. To what extent do you believe in connecting with the indigenous people, and how do you typically handle this responsibility? Because you've talked so much about knowing this people, getting to
When you
make
say
their pain. How would you be?
when you talk about indigenous people, you mean the people we have helped and people who want to help, we're about to help also? Okay.
Yes, I mean, it's not you a relationship
let me
with
tell
them.
you
Like, how would you connect them?
Let me tell you what we do. Like, apart from the youths, we also have our women, Ugumba women department. In fact, the last International Women Day, we empowered 50 women. And these women are not women that are societal women. These are women that sell akara, pepper, and then vegetable in the market. So we took 50 across the country. We took 50 across the country. So these 50 got 20,000 naira each. You can imagine a woman who is selling a vegetable that is not up to 10,000, and you were able to give that woman cash of 20,000. That will help that woman. And how do we do this? We have coordinators in all the 36 states of the Federation. In every state in Nigeria, we have woman coordinator. What do? They go down the street. They go down to the ghetto. They go and look for those women who are who find it difficult to get something to eat. And then what we do is to, through those women, reach out to them and then bring their name to our office in Abuja, and we'll get back to them. And even giving them the money, we do not give them money and then say we have settled that person and that person has gone home. Because some of them, you give them money, and sometimes it goes to the young people too. Immediately you give a young man, say 1 million or 500,000. If you don't follow up, the young person will find himself in a beer parlor where they sell nkwobi, or where they sell rishi, or where they sell pomo, and will finish that money eating pomo and drinking. So we don't stop at giving them money. We give them money, even whether 20,000, 10,000. Once we give you this money, we'll follow up and come to your shop to make sure that you are using that money, and then you are doing something reasonable with that money. So we have coordinators. We have on our youth angle, we have our youth coordinators in every state of the Federation. What they do is to help us to reach out to these people, and that's how we connect to these vulnerable people in the society.
Wow. Okay. So, there's this expression. It says a good city manager, a good entrepreneur, only needs to be able to count 3. Of course, in our case, it will be 5, right? Could you please comment on this statement? Am I being heard?
No, I can't hear you.
Okay. I said there's this expression: a good city manager, a good entrepreneur should be able to count 3. Of course, in some cases, there are 5. So, could you please comment on this expression?
Yes, depending on how you want to express it on your own side, everybody will have his own idea of how to express this message now. But if you ask me to relate it from my own view, one is that from my own view,
so your
yes,
view
from my own view, yes. One is that you as an entrepreneur or as a manager or as a leader in an organization, how do you move? How do you make a change in that organization, and how do you how do people around your workers and everybody see you? Do they see you as somebody who they cannot relate with, or somebody who has come to make a change in that organization or that society? Some are there, and then you appoint somebody, and somebody is a applause, or you have a business, you are not growing, you are not moving forward, you are not moving back, or you are.
We lost connection, sir.
To move up and to get to the next level, and that in doing that also you sentiment aside, you just don't want to please anybody. You just have to achieve your target. Whatever that happens by the side, you come back and then consult with those people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think you've done well. You've done well in this so much
Thank
for your
you.
time. I don't want to take more of your time. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of today's interview session.
It's okay.
Hope it
That's
was
a
not
nice one.
it was not complicated.
No, it was good. It was good.
Okay. Yeah, before we go
Hello, sir.
session, if there's anything you the question box, if there's
Thank you.
anything you felt okay,
Good
Good
afternoon,
afternoon,
you've
sir.
answered.
So I think somebody wants to ask a
You've
question.
answered everything.
No, I just want to say hi because I've been greeting you since. I think since you were answering question, I
Thank
decided
you,
to
my
leave
brother.
you alone so you can
Thank you. What's the name,
focus.
please?
I'm Chris. Chris. Well,
Don
my
Chris.
people call me Don Chris.
Where are you
Yeah,
going to Paris on the
I'm based in Paris, France.
23rd? I wish I'm going to see you. 23rd.
12.
No, May.
This month.
No.
May. Okay, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see. Why
Summer.
not? It's summer. If I'm not in
I wish to
Italy,
see
I
you
should
so
be
that we
around.
can relate face to face.
No,
All right. Thank you, Don.
no problem. No problem. It will
Thank
be a
you.
pleasure. I followed you already, so
No problem.
if you're around,
Thank you.
just give me a message on my DM.
God bless you, my brother.
I don't, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, so
It's a pleasure. Amen. And you too, sir.
I think the last question I will leave you with, would you consider yourself a feminist?
Come again.
Would you consider yourself a feminist? I mean, you support feminists, you support female gender in the society. I mean, that's the word, a feminist. So, being a feminist,
Come again with your question, please.
the last to go.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, talking about the female education, the female gender, feminists. Well, what's your thoughts? What's your take on that?
In fact, even in my center, we
You consider yourself?
we have done well for our female gender. We have got
That is interesting. Okay, let's hear. You were saying something.
I think issue.
Even in your
Me,
center,
I can hear you. She have issue.
some certain things for female.
Department where we have thousands of women.
Advocacy and trying to see women.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
The social departments and political departments.
What can you hear me? You know I can't hear you. It's cracking. But I got your question.
Thank you, Victoria.
I got your question.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
When you talk about when you talk about, and then you talk about females, our foundation, our leadership center have contributed more in that aspect. We have empowered men, like I told you earlier on, just at the last International Women's Day, we empowered 50 women with cash support, help them in their businesses.
Thank you. This was a wonderful one. Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you, sir. Yes, Honourable, hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Oh, maybe it's from my own side.
CC's network.
I can hear you very well.
Honourable, can you hear me? It's a network, I told you before. See a stable network whenever you're having such a interview. She just appreciated you. She said, I really appreciate your time and love for your youth, for youth. And,
can you hear
me?
I can see that.
Tapping and I'm seeing it. Yeah, because your network is not stable. So I will let me cut it and then recall her again. She said it is not network. She just wrote something. It is not network. What is the
Are you
problem?
okay now? Can you hear me now?
Okay. So it's fine. I saw you. I heard you answer.
No, so you have to end it now. It's getting somewhere. It's not good. The network is not good. It says my iPhone stress.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
She's speaking
this will
Portuguese.
be the end of today's interview session. I really appreciate your time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Igbo. That's Igbo.
Can you hear me, sir?
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, bye everybody. God bless you. God bless you.
All right, Honourable. Give me a follow back and whenever you
I love all of you. God bless you both. All right.
We love you too. God bless you too. So, Sissy, take care.
Thank you, Honourable. Thank you all. Thank you, those of you that took your time to stay with us on this session up to this extent. Thank you so much, Nwosu. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the love that you have for the youth. We really appreciate. Thank you, everyone. I love you all. See you soon again. Ciao. Bye for now. That'll be all for now. Tschüssi.